Good morning, everyone. Here's a game that's been sitting in my library for a long time, and I've never played it yet, so I was bored, decided to install it, and I know nothing about it. Haven't seen any videos, so I figured I'd just record everything and take you along with me. See what happens.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. So, can I interact with anything? Oh. It's making a noise. I can crouch. Sounds like a keyboard noises, doesn't it? Can I do something with this? Can I get in here? No. Interesting.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Meeting room. Can't go back in there. Let's poke around a little bit. Probably not supposed to do
No
that.
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So let's see, who farted? What's that? Oh! It did a thing. I can switch it back on. Oh, I can climb the desks though. Okay, am I still going to the meeting room? I like work, I just hate my boss. Smile. Okay. More office. Okay. Just keep switching off computers. Oh, that's the other office, isn't it? Wait. Is it? I hate Mondays. More offices. Okay. Username, access. Okay, switching off all the computers. Wait, can we get in here? This doesn't look like there's a hallway. Trying doors, no. No, alright. Let's keep moving. Let's poke around. Nope. Nope. What's with all the hallways? Loose cable in there? Doesn't look like this one.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did he? Well, Stanley follows orders. So I guess... Oh, meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Interesting. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. What's this? Meeting room, floor 4XX. Group. Meeting schedule Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Termination Tuesdays. We're broke Wednesdays. Financial panic meeting. Boss's inspection. What to do about 432? Don't tell 432 about this meeting. Okay. Group 4-2. That's what I'm in, right? Rip friends. What's this? Get Chris out of the broom closet. Oh, targets. Push for funding for R&D of new coffee machine. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Fire paper guy. Move my desk. Employee. I'm 427, right? So now I'm there. What's all this? Can I get a lime on this table? No. Using slides to assure employees that everything's okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throws... Oh. You most of all. Right. Clues in here. Number of slides on this slide. Slides, charts, charts, and slides. Okay. Colored in segment. Kind of increase. Here's a minute. Circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Okay, so there's a bunch of jokes on here. Start a fight around now, you're both of them. Is these things endless? Talk less, do and blame, work all the time every day with no expectation of promotion, don't get fired. Alright. I don't see my number in any of these. Okay, I'll keep moving. It's gotta be boring, right? Strategize. Monetize, free to play. Broom closet. There was something about freeing someone from a broom closet. What Can I get stuck in here?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Did he?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I don't trust you, voice.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Okay.
He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet F.A.
Okay.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why?
I'm not
Please
doing
offer me
nothing.
some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I read something about freeing something from the room closet. You silly boy.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
Why was
I
it
never would have thought to mention it.
whiteboard then? Ooh,
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
very well. Very well. Bathroom. Okay. Nothing to see. That's gonna be the office. No. No. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845 bucks.
Stanley just sat around
Sewage
twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input
My
anything on the device was
cold
useless,
money.
since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
I am the most expensive boss. Carte blanche et Mont Blanc.
2845.
Yeah. Settle down, buddy. You ain't my boss. You ain't the boss of me. Ooh, a nice bottle of Chianti.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Come on, man. Aren't you gonna say anything? Oh. Yeah, see? It looks like a stage of some sort. Bucket. Elevator going down. Nothing I can push here. Very well. We'll take the elevator. Hooray! I did a thing. Okay. So this is a strange game.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. So, are you telling me to not do as I'm told anymore?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Did he now? If light is on, call extension 914 immediately. Where's the telephone?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Very well, okay. So, here we go.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Probably gonna die now, but that's okay. We'll just
At
start
this point,
over.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Boom. Ah.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
What if I crouch? Will I survive this? No.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Okay. Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Okay. Nature paintings. Stanley's computer. Oh, office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. This is my office. This was the room. This is where we can get into. This is the room with all the blackboards. The two doors. The set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Filing cabinets, yeah. office computers. Oh, can we play that? No? Oh. Credits. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Interesting. The office. So we can go that way or that way. 431, 436. Goes up. Maintenance room. An early version of the maintenance room. Xerox machine. What's on the other end? You'll go up there as well. Boss's office. Screens from the development of the boss's office. So it was this one. This goes up. It's in the back here. Mind control facility. An early version, yeah. Narration outtakes. Kevin Priding. Roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game. Okay. Wait, hang on.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Sure. I'm just going to make this easy on you. Stanley stood on the roof.
There's about a room you can do nothing in. Alright. Maybe I need to listen to that, but I'm not going to. Let's keep moving. Alright, let's go up here. Freedom and freedom ending. This was the very first incarnation of the freedom ending. Oh, the game's alpha. So that one of the endings then. Countdown desk. Freedom ending. All right. The game is now paused. Escape menu. Only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. For a long time we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Okay. So does that mean I have to restart the game? Oh, I know this. I guess we're supposed to restart then. Was that a hint? Selection of emails. Alright, I guess we oh, where's my office? So, if we die, do we end up here? So we were in here. This is a thing. Oh.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Click.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now. It'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Okay. Game is now paused. Resume the game. Alright. Begin the game again. I guess that's the idea, right? So.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
We know
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Very good, very good. I see.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We'll try this again. We'll get to the right door later on. I see, I see, I see. This is the thing with the broom
Yet there was
closet.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Get Chris out of the broom closet. That's gotta be something, right? Nothing more about Chris. I knew I read something about it. Ongoing. Get Chris out of the broom closet and synergize papers. Alright.
Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Alright, very good. I can't pick anything up, right? So who's Chris? Okay, fine. You win.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Very well. We'll follow your path for now, buddy. And we'll see what we can do about it later. Alright.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud. To nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. but his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Shall we not do this again? See what happens? You're gonna get mad.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
Yes.
Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Very well.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This is still the same. I'm gonna go down. So, there was someone to call when the light was on. 914, I believe. If my memory does not fail me.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
914. Extension 914 immediately. Well, we're gonna find out. Alright. Okay. Gotta push a button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Well, let's just play along. Camera. What are these? Right? Clickety click.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
That looks like there's something wrong with it. 528. 427 is me, right? That one. Show me. It's my office. 528. What does this do? Anything else strange? Something strange up there. Oh, there's another one. All right. I'm sure we'll figure it out sooner or later. 528 028. Is that right? Yeah, the one with the red lines, the text. 028 528 914. I don't think we have a 914. Do we? 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't go that high. 600. So 528 and 028. Remind me of those numbers.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Right?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Okay.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Really? To console disabled. Is there anything else I can do here? The big red button. Tempting, isn't it? Mind controls idle, awaiting input. 5. What do these numbers mean? Can't do any of these. Gotta push some buttons here. What does this button do? Let's make a noise. This one? Nothing. Nope. It's gotta be the red button then. Oh. What's in here? Oh, does this do anything? It's a door. Where are these two? Spooky. Guess this doesn't do anything, does it? Alright, we're trying the big red button. Oh. Can I not push the big red button? Aww. I wanted to push the big red button. Alright. Fine. Have it your way. Mind controls idle, awaiting input. Can't read any of that.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Very well. Play along. Oh.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Yes.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Maybe. Oh. The end is never the end. Very well.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
So,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
we have options.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Do we want to go through this again? Yeah, let's just try all the opportunities on this side. Because we could switch the machine to on, right?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
You bastard.
Coming
Okay.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Gonna play along.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Still have to call 914 from somewhere. Maybe it's gonna be the other side of the building. Alright, so let's try and switch the machines to on this time. See what happens. Is it still 914?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Very well. Okay. Click.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Alright. So, do you remember the numbers on the screens? It was 528
Now
and
the monitors
028,
jumped to life,
right?
Their true nature revealed. Each bore the
528.
number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
028.
And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Come on. Switch the screen. Fired. Oh. Yeah. 528028. 104 is fired. Alright. I'll try and remember. Let's ploink the button.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Alright, so we did one ending.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Go up here,
And as the
we?
cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
There's a door up there. 0142. 4. Can we find those buttons in here? Do we have to switch it on first? 1, 2. Do we have a 0 button? Three. 0142. Hmm. 0521. Alright, let's switch it on. There's a 5, so I see 2 numbers.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
On.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Of
After
course
they
I
kept you
did.
enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Oh, these buttons.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Yes.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Okay. So let's say that's true. And there's nothing I can do.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Waiting input. Oh. Wait. I turned that off. And now it's waiting for input. How about these ones? Okay, maybe not. Can I do more input? No. Just one input received. So, let's see. This is all for something.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, he didn't.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, that'd be nice. Employee lounge. Is there gonna be another broom closet? Oh, look.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Drinking. No cans?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Very well.
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did he? No, he didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yes. Okay, fine. This is new. It's a swipe card. We can't jump, can we? That's a shame. Warning. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion, will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift $5,000. Some trucks. Another walkway. Very well.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Yeah.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Is that the lady voice that we heard before, perhaps? Maybe? We can't go that way. Alright.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay. Wait.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Press V on your keyboard. Oh, okay, I see.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Sure.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
In? We don't have a TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Spend time with the
So
boys.
he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Well, things
Down
are changing.
one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
I love you, baby.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
I see.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Let's see. Okay, so we're going to be stuck here now, right? I see. I see. You're pushing my buttons.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
To question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Please die. I guess I died. So does the game want me to not play it?
How wonderful.
Is that it?
Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I see. Can we still input? No? Yes? Things are changing. Shall we try the right door again? It's not just gonna give me this. No.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
No,
doors,
no,
he
no,
entered.
no.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, we'll do it your way.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No. 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 We'll get to that one later.
Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh. The vehicle. Are we sure, though? Yep. Alright. Down we go. Into... Oh. No!
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Alright. Very well.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Wait. Yeah.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Okay, so now I have 6 options. Interesting. Shall we go left? Let's go this way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Interesting. No door.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Yes. Why not? Coffee cups.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
All right.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Very well. Oh.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
Very well. This is getting more... Oh, the yellow line. I heard something about that. Cannot put in anything.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Very well. Wait a minute. This is new.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Okay.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
Confusing me now.
Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh no. Okay. We'll follow the yellow brick road. Wait, 006. We're heading towards 1? Let's check the numbers. 11, 028 and 528. Those are numbers I need to remember, right? Probably nothing. Zero B5. Ba-da-ba. Zero B1 basement one. Okay. Annual reviews. Wait, hang on. Employee 432 peer reviews. Wait. I'm confused. Alright.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Really? Eh, whatever.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
You haven't been through here yet. I don't think. So let's go this way. Oh. Well, screw that. Let's see. Screw the line. My door's still here.
Still missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line? Perhaps we could have found the story on our own.
Yes. Perhaps. Okay. Back to the line. This is really interesting. Something about a fern. This one. Okay. Personnel files. Alright, let's just follow it. No. Wait. This is all closed. We should go back to the office then. Fern. Nope. Alright, let's head back to the office. Can't hurt. Click. No. Am I stuck in here now? I bet you I'm stuck in here now. No. No. Oh, fine. We'll go this way. And there we go.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with
Pirate.
it. Restart.
What the hell was that? One of them said pirate. Alright. Yellow line.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
True.
We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Yes.
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay. I'll play.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
All right. I see. Aha. We'll go backwards.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Does that mean I go back this way? Not acknowledging it. Has anything changed? Nope. Fine. We'll move backwards. Well, I guess we follow the line then. Follow the yellow brick line. That's not helpful. Very well. Oh.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin.
Yes.
So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Can I think for a second?
Oh, stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime,
I was trying to read all the other endings. I'm sure we'll come across
all of
them.
his co-workers were gone.
Yes.
What could it mean?
Monday.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right. And the door's back then. Yay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Now, what I did remember is that when we were going to the director's office, we could also take the stairs down instead of up. Didn't do that yet, did I? We still haven't
Yet
found
there was not a single
Chris in the
person
broom
here either.
closet.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
See, we'll go down. Damn it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, he didn't. You went down into a thing. Alright. Oh, a
But
vehicle.
Stanley just couldn't do it.
No.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
How did this
Why
car
did
get
doors
here?
close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Yes.
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Restart? No. Still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
That's the restart.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. There should be more. See? Alright. One more ending or two. I'm trying to remember what was on the board.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Okay. Two doors.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, we went down, we went up to the boss, we went to the room. Let's check this side
This was
again.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did we... Oh, we never jumped off the thing.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh. Can we drop down on the boxes? Come on. Go on, Stanley.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay, let's try it again. Let's try and get on the... Oh.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Bye, honey. Okay. Nobody following me. Guess they're talking about me.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
No,
doors,
no,
he
he
entered.
didn't.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, he didn't. He's going to jump off that platform again.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So, there's a walkway with 2 doors. Will cause death. Let's see about that, shall we?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
You're going
I'm
to
not
go
your
up,
enemy, really,
aren't you?
I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting,
Jump
Stanley.
off here.
Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have 0 consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
I know.
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Danger. Danger everywhere. Very well. 2B1. Stairs. 2B3. Okay.
Now
Aha.
listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Very well, we'll play it your way this
Oh,
time.
thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The 2 of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Very well.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Oh,
Here.
pretty.
Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
That was door number 1. Shall we not jump off the edge? Oh, look. That's pretty. I mean, we're gonna have to leave, of course. Could jump over the edge. We can try that. It's all falling away. There's new lights. Kind of spacey. If I wait long enough, is something gonna happen? Keep wondering, don't you? Okay. If nothing happens after the green lights disappear, we're gonna go that way. Oh, stars are disappearing. Okay. Yep. Bye-bye.
No, wait. Where are you going?
We're leaving.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
We'll find it again. We know the way.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Really? Is that the only option? Suicide? Interesting. So, if I'm gonna jump off a platform, can we jump off this thing?
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
How about... Oh, we can't jump off this side. Okay. Anything else? Oh, here come the stars again. Are we in a loop? Yeah, we're on loop. Okay. Very well.
No. What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
We're stuck.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
No, we won't. We won't die. We'll just restart, dude. We'll be fine. Don't worry.
Please, Stanley, think. No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Wait. Am I stuck here?
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Okay. I'm giving you... No. Is this where I have to restart the game? I bet you this is where I have to restart the game.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this. No. No, no, what are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
I'm bored. I don't want to stay there, you stupid silly boy.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Yep.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
All right. Here we go. Reset.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back. The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Very well. Meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
Yes.
entered the door on his left.
He did indeed.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
No.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
I
to
want
his
to try the
boss's
other
office.
door. Want to try the other door. Oh, we
But
did
Stanley
this.
just couldn't do it.
Crap.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work
Done
hours.
this
He might
already.
be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself,
Get in the game again.
a soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started. And if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Okay. So...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
to
Stanley
jump
knew
off
it
the
perfectly
platform
well.
again.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
No. He wants to see
But
the other
eager
door.
to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Alright, let's do that again. I think it's the blue door now, isn't it?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Alright, let's
Look,
do it
Stanley,
again.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult,
here we go.
but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
There we go.
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Alright, back to the 2 doors.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Stanley already did that. We're going to do the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, he didn't.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
blue
All right,
door.
fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Cool.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps
Awesome.
ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Sure. I'll bite.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul.
You silly
You can't
boy.
teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh, Worldwide leaderboard? What the hell? The worst 30% of players chose the blue door. $9,028 out of. This is your superior. Leaderboard. Okay. Oh,
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
yes.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Of
Perfect.
course not.
Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
No. No, I'm sorry.
You heartless bastard.
Yeah.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Okay. What?
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? And I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here.
Oh, I can't interact with anything.
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off.
Dear.
Yes.
I
It's
knew.
complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Okay.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Mining.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No. Coal. Give me the coal. Aw. Mushrooms.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Aw. Oh, now I feel like playing a little bit of Minecraft. What's next? Portal.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
I know this game. It's literally one of the first things I recorded for my channel.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Gimme. It's been a
Genius.
long time.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my...
Nope. Oops. I didn't even mean to do that. It's probably supposed to do that. Please rate your experience. Stanley Parallel Alpha Test. Beta. Filing cabinets. I'm supposed to drop down here. Okay. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's go for it. Hey. Reload. Oh. 5. 528. The hallways. Guess we go this way. Oh, we're back to 423, 24, 5. And we're back in my office. Wait. These are different buttons. Okay.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Okay.
I can wait. A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
I remember this.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Very well. You win.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
All
Coming to
right.
the staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Still can't use them. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, that's what the boss chose. Can I not use the bathroom? Haven't been here yet. Interesting. New rooms. What? Business strategy. No. Oh, it's doing a thing. Excellent. Oh, we can go both ways. Let's go up then. More options still. Bum, bum, bum. Am I stuck in the lift now? This is one weird game. I love it. Are we there? Wait. What if we go down? Same thing? Do, 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 do. This is just an elevator out of nowhere. This is not going anywhere, is it? Strange shapes on the walls. Nope. 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 Nope.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Can I jump in here? Do something stupid? Right. Down we go. But no commentary.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Did we do all the options this way? Let's go back to that museum one more time.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I want to see all the stuff in
The
there
door
again.
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. Let's see if anything's changed. Plonk. Now that I've seen a lot of the stuff in game, maybe.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Yes. This.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Okay. So, maintenance room. Can't see the images because of all this text. If someone could just get rid of the text, maybe then I could see what this game is about. Words. Office chairs. The point of the Stanley Parable HD Remix is to lose. The point of the Stanley Parable HD Remix is to win. These are screenshots. More endings, fewer endings. More narrators, fewer narrators. More Stanley, less Stanley. Am I going crazy? Maybe it isn't the same image. Was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? We haven't seen that room yet, have we? Alien base. Awesome. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Okay. So September 2012, we submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process of approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which was still enough to win the community's approval. The lounge. Oh yes, now I remember. Office. The lift. This second function is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Ah, that's where I jump off, right? It was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Which is what I did. Different ending. Okay, so we've been through these. Maintenance layout. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right, since players will replay them so many times. Maintenance lounge. Too confusing ending. Okay. These look new. Zending levers. These levers are originally part of the Zending. This I haven't seen. What is this? Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the fourth version. Oh. Hang on. Why are we switching to desktop Windows? Countdown ending. Okay. We got this. Monitor room elevator. Instead. Okay. Countdown room, an early version. Let's see. Those are things. Alright, let's go to the exit. I don't think we're winning anything here. Just wanted to make sure.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Here we go.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
Right?
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let...
Quit. Begin the game. All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Did I just ruin it? Do I have to do the whole thing again?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
No.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I didn't, because the room is still
Coming to a
boarded
staircase,
up.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Very well. We'll play it your way.
Here's the door, just go.
All right. Let's try to think what they call the freedom ending again.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
He did indeed. All right. Let's do this again.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Then, all right. Let's see.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Off we go.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
All right. Let's get on with it.
He refused to believe it.
You know
he
where we're
couldn't
going.
accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Yes.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I think he will. I think it's been long enough. All right. It's been 2.5 hours.
And a rising chill of uncertainty.
I think I'm gonna just
Was it
leave
over?
it here. There might be some things I've missed, but
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized
true.
none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
yes.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Alright, I think that's enough fun for one day. I'm gonna leave this here. Maybe I'll revisit it one day, but this was enough fun for one day. Thank you for watching. Be nice to each other, and I'll see you next time.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.